Welcome back, everybody. Got my husband, Big D, over here.
What it do? And I got my husband, Fatty.
Hi.
What it do?
And we are
Endzone
Enthusiasts. So go ahead and look and check to see if you are subscribed. What do we need the people to do?
Hit the button and subscribe. It don't cost you nothing.
Thank you. So this week,
Help a brother out.
We're into week 10 and things are shaken up. Basically, nobody has their full roster because of what? Injuries.
Injuries are bad.
But we're going to be talking about Miami playing Southern Methodist University.
SMU, baby. You ain't don't use their government name. We just gonna.
I had to look it up.
Okay.
So I wanted to put it in there. SMU, then Vanderbilt, Texas, Oklahoma, Tennessee, and Georgia Tech, NC State.
That was a game. That was a lot of offense in the game. That was good. Let's
get into it.
Let's go.
Mustangs, Sally! Oh, I probably blew out the whole microphone. We're going to be talking about, you guessed it, Miami playing SMU, the Hurricanes versus the Mustangs, and they played at SMU. Now, this game did go into overtime, but Miami had over 6 times the rushing yards, and yet somehow the unranked Mustangs still defeated the ranked Hurricanes 26-20. What do you think about that?
R.I.P. Miami. Got him. Sorry, that was so
rude. The ACC implications.
Yeah, ACC. I mean, Miami. Lord, when y'all gonna realize Mario Cristobal ain't it? Okay, I'm just saying he collapsed. Every year, November, December, he making mistakes, losing games for y'all. Y'all can do better, Miami fan. I'm coming over here as a Florida Gator. I'm just telling y'all can do better. You know what it's like when you have that friend with the boyfriend that you know he ain't worth too much, but you don't want to hurt their feelings. It's time for us to just go ahead and hurt your feelings. Tell you that ain't your man, baby. That is not your man. Because what? Oh Lord, how you lose to SMU twice? And then the kicker for me is that SMU joined the ACC last year. They have the same number of ACC championship appearances as Miami. And then plus, SMU just gave Rhett Lashley a really nice extension, which will make him one of the top 10 highest paid coaches. It was crazy because, to your point, you look at the stat lines and you would think that Miami would have won. But really, it was the penalties. Like, they had almost 100 yards of penalties in this game. And then you had 2 interceptions by Carson Beck, which, again, I told y'all.
What'd you tell us?
He can't change his stripes. That's a zebra. Nay. I don't know if that's y'all may want to say it. But the biggest thing for them is, like, it really hurts Miami's chance to get to not only the ACC championship, but also to make the playoffs. And this is, again, you have the talent, you have a top 10 recruiting class, you have a top portal class, and again, you collapse at the end. And I think it's going to be a moment of, like, this offseason is going to be uncomfortable for Miami because, again, you assemble the necessary talent, but you don't do enough to win. So shout out to SMU. They deserve this win. Also that blue looks nice. And then, if we're looking at muscle cars, I do like the Mustang better than any of the other ones. So that's another point. But seriously, Miami, y'all have to do some soul searching and figure out, like, is Mario Cristobal the fraud? Because y'all are pouring resources into this man, and he is not winning it for you like you should. You had Cam Ward last year, and you didn't make it. So, RIP, but that's that one. I don't want to talk about that no more because Miami, y'all disappointing, bro.
Better luck next time. All right, Big D. Now, what if I said I was going to give you 100 free yards?
Oh, I love free.
And still beat you. You know who I'm talking about? We're talking about Oklahoma playing Tennessee. Number 18 playing number 14 in the SEC. The Sooners versus the Volunteers at Tennessee. Tennessee started off strong. They looked good on their feet and in the air. Honestly, it looked like Tennessee should have won the game. Plus, like I said, Oklahoma gave them over 100 yards and penalties. But there was a lot of turnovers. Right, Lena? Turnovers damn Tennessee. And so the higher-ranked Sooners beat the Volunteers in Knoxville 33-27.
Okay, since I'm already on a roll, can we just say Neyland Stadium? Like, that's a beautiful stadium.
Gorge, very nice.
I do have to give it a shout out.
Very nice.
Beautiful stadium.
Beautiful.
I guess the SEC just has great stadiums overall. So maybe we'll get on the road at some point and do a tour of all the SEC stadiums. But Neyland Stadium was rocking. This game really came down to the defensive performance from Oklahoma. Oklahoma had a strip sack that was returned for a touchdown, and then they had 2 interceptions on Aguilar. So it really was, they made more mistakes. If you look at the stats, you really would have thought Tennessee would have won that game. Mateer still, I don't think he looks that great. I'm just going to be honest. Like, he still missed some opportunities. He had some good plays, but I think he's still not there. But the biggest part of this game is it really takes Tennessee out of its playoff aspirations, because this would be another SEC loss. And so that's sad for them. But on the other hand, it keeps Oklahoma in the running, where I don't think Oklahoma as a team has looked that great consistently. But, it comes down to getting to the end of the game and having that, have more points on your side. And Oklahoma did it. Their defense looked good, caused a lot of havoc, caused a lot of issues. But I think there were some questionable play calls, I'm going to say, on the Tennessee side. Like, why were we passing on 4th and 1? Like, there were some moments that I just couldn't get with. But, a lot of people are upset with Josh Heupel, and I'm like, y'all need to remember where that man brought y'all from. When he took over that program, y'all were dealing with all these issues from Jeremy Pruitt and the giving players money and a McDonald's sack. And, like, he's turned Tennessee into a juggernaut. And also, can we talk about that stadium when that power T happened for them to come out? That was stunning. Just sorry that I'm visual. Stunning. But I think that they need to remember, like, you are not the Alabamas, the LSUs. Like, you've reached a new level, but you haven't been that. So give the man props for what he's done with what he's inherited and what he's done with Tennessee. And I think Tennessee is going to be a consistent team in the SEC. But I just hate he's getting so much hate.
Tennessee looked good.
Yeah, they looked good.
I don't know how they lost, honestly.
Yeah, the dark mode was just nice. I always
dark mode.
I'm always going to root for black.
They were dark-sided.
But, shout out to the winners. Sooner, y'all did that, bro. I'm going to give y'all props. So keep it going. I don't think y'all going to win too many more, because y'all still got some tough ones ahead. But, I'm going to give y'all props, because I was hoping if y'all would have lost, then Josh Heupel could have went back to his school at Oklahoma, where he was the quarterback. But, I'm over here doing math in my head. But, shout out to Oklahoma for winning. That's that one.
Do you howl like a wolf or sting like a bee? We're talking about Georgia Tech versus NC State. We're going over to the ACC for this one. Georgia Tech was ranked number 8. The Yellow Jackets versus the Wolfpack. They played in Raleigh at NC State. Now, Georgia Tech was undefeated coming into this game. NC State really had their number because they were ahead in points the whole time. And so the unranked Wolfpack got a home win against the highly ranked Yellow Jackets. What is it? 48-36.
Now, first, I'm going to give a shout out to NC State, Raleigh. I used to be all up in there. I lived in the Triangle. So shout out to y'all first, because, Raleigh, North Carolina has a special place in my heart. But really, it was the explosive offense of NC State. Like, they've had some issues. Like, their head coach has been on some hot seat conversations, and they really responded. And you saw the explosive offense that just couldn't be contained. And really, you look at it, Georgia Tech's defense gave up 600 yards.
Whoa.
You can't win when you give up that many yards.
No.
But, I think they were beat up. It's been a long season for them already. They've had some big games. And so, like, you would expect them to eventually, like, run out of some steam, where on the other side, NC State was just getting warmed up. But, their quarterback was very impressive. They had the redshirt freshman running back that had, like, his coming out party pretty much, where he rushed for almost 200 yards plus 1 touchdown. Like, it just was, you couldn't contain them. And so Georgia Tech, I'm sorry y'all lost this game.
Sorry.
You know, I was rooting for you. But it's understandable. Like, I think the Brent Keys teams are going to be like, they're going to recoup. They're going to still keep going. They still are in the running to, you know, make the ACC playoff if some things go their way. But really, I don't think they have anything to be ashamed of. It's just they got caught in a tough spot with NC State really needing this win. And really, you know, they figured out a way to have the offense firing on all cylinders. So I'm still rooting for Georgia Tech. I still want to see them make the playoffs. I think they'll give a lot of people problems. But, you know, it's impressive what Georgia Tech has become at NC State. Like, that's how you flip a narrative of, oh, they want you fired, to now you're beating the number 8 team in the country. So shout out to them. Great job, Wolfpack. Who's our girl? We got to give a shout out to our girl that went to NC State.
Oh, my girl, Molly. Hey, Molly.
Yeah, Molly is a Wolfpack member, whatever, however y'all say that. But, you know, shout out to y'all. Y'all did that. You know, that's that one.
No. That's the best I could come to. I'm so sorry. We're going to talk about, we talked about Vanderbilt a lot. We're going to talk about Vanderbilt. We're going to talk about Vandy again, playing Texas. That was number 9, playing number 20. This is an SEC game. The Commodores versus the Longhorns. They did play at Texas. This game got scrappy, and there was multiple unsportsmanlike conduct flags. If I didn't have to stay in frame, I would try to demonstrate a little bit.
Yeah, don't hit me. Yeah. And don't push me out of bounds. That was rude, too.
That was so rude. Also, the Vanderbilt quarterback was sacked 6 times. He was sacked 6 times.
I feel bad. I bet he ain't never seen that many men coming at him at once.
Now, we may also want to talk about some referee-isms, your zebras, because
I can't even defend them no more. They be on some bull.
The refs definitely gave Vanderbilt that 2-point conversion. Multiple camera angles showed that it was not across the line.
But we appreciate you helping out Vandy, okay?
Yeah, and in fact, that was kind of the overall message, because I thought Vanderbilt had multiple opportunities to win, but they still came up short. And so the Longhorns beat the higher-ranked Commodores 34-31.
Gots to be more careful. So number 1, I'm just going to give a shout out. Texas, that stadium looked nice. Ain't even going to hate. That stadium looked real, real nice. The other side of it is Vanderbilt is like really the biggest weakness they showed is they couldn't run the ball. Texas's run defense was very stout, and they weren't able to get some momentum. Vanderbilt did do a good job of like keeping Texas from scoring after the third quarter. Like the last time they scored was third quarter. They couldn't, you know, Vanderbilt had 21 unanswered points. But bruh, how your hands team couldn't get that ball? Y'all could have had that ball and y'all would have had a field goal to take that over. Like what? Y'all don't do that in practice? Y'all don't do that in practice.
They didn't practice the fumble.
Vandy, I'm over here rooting for. Where am I terrible? I was rooting for you.
I was rooting for you.
Yeah, and then y'all just gonna do me like that. But it's just Texas is kind of that second part of the season. Like, you know, they took that beating from Florida and we'll do it again. And then they, you know, they got some momentum, but also it's like the talent gap. Vanderbilt's better, but they, you know, obviously aren't ready to go toe to toe with Texas. But I think the bigger picture is this probably puts Vanderbilt a little bit more on the outside because, you know, a loss to a low ranked team like this may not bode well for their chance to get to the SEC championship because you still have undefeated teams. And also, you know, this loss versus Texas, who's had a loss to unranked Florida. Like, it's just going to be a little bit muddy. But, you know, I'm still rooting for you, Pavia. I still, you know, I'm here for you, bro. Texas, y'all won that. Arch Manning looked the best I think he's looked all season. I think they looked efficient. But Phil Simi on the defense side of Texas, that's why we didn't want you at Florida. I saw you last game being messy again. Get it together. Because he was the one that had him out of OJ. And then I remember last week when he got penalized doing some bull. I'm sick of it.
Do better.
But that's that one. I'm upset now. I gotta go.
I had to leave.
Bye. I'm leaving. I'm done with this.
Okay, we're getting pretty far into the season for week 11, I think it is. What games look interesting, Big Z?
I'll say this one was challenging because if I would have looked at this week prior to the season, I definitely would have had some different choices.
Right.
But based on what's coming up, it'll be, for me, it's going to be number 8 BYU versus number 9 Texas Tech. LSU versus number 4 Alabama. It's just always, even though LSU doesn't have a head coach right now, I still think that's always an interesting game. We have number 3 Texas A&M versus number 19 Missouri. You have Navy versus number 10 Notre Dame.
Oh.
And then this is an ACC if these teams were better game, but we're still going to probably watch
if they were better.
In support of my husband.
Oh, yes.
It is Florida State versus Clemson. So we'll see what happens.
Oh my God.
Oh, sorry, babe.
Thank y'all for going on this journey with us.
Thank y'all for keeping my stomach a little settled after what he just did to me. Please like, subscribe. We appreciate your interaction. We appreciate your feedback. And as always, we thank you for going on this journey with us. Here at Endzone Enthusiasts, we feel football can be fun for everyone. So we're looking forward to another great week of football, and I'm excited to see who gets fired next. I will be putting out probably in the middle of the week. I probably will do an updated coaching carousel because we have some more firings.
Look out for that.
Yeah. Mr. Tigers. The other Tigers. Oh my gosh, 2 Tigers got fired. But yeah, but you know, we love y'all. We'll appreciate y'all, and we'll see you on the next video.
Bye.
Bye-bye now.
Bye. Bye-bye.